And that's the summoner gameplay. I'm going to quickly go over the tree, going down, going to the left. We're going to take Shocking Aura, however. We're going to keep going down to the left. We're not going to be grabbing the Mask of Lunatic this time because we are going to be utilizing Uproot. Keep going down. Puppet Master, your totem will summon one puppet every 3 seconds. They throw knives, they do damage, they have some good range. It's a nice bonus. Keep going down, you're increasing it. Stagnation. Enemies hit by Nature's Jolt get slowed down, which is after using Haul, you can do some damage. Exploding Puppets. When your puppets have 3 seconds left, they will charge towards your enemies at high speed and explode. And we got Bullwhip. Amazing little damage bonus. You get some bonus damage by hitting enemies with your Uproot, and your summons will focus them and deal additional damage. Duration for 10 seconds. So you want to make sure you open up a fight by hitting your enemy with Uproot. I wasn't doing that too much in the gameplay recording because I forgot, but yeah, this is a thing. More puppets increase it again. Storm Dance, enemies hit by aura will be pulled towards your totem. It keeps them away from you, which is pretty good. Lets you continue playing at a distance. Regeneration. This is honestly my preferred health sustain option for Shaman. Sacrificial Shrine, if you take it, it disables your ability to play at a range. With Regeneration, you can play at whatever range you want. You make a nice little space between you and the enemy, and you continue spell spamming. Double Totem, you got 2 totems. You get Stronger Totem, which makes the tick damage and the totem smash damage increased. Crimson Effigy, you actually get a ton of DPS from the effigies because they deal damage for every tick, which means if the enemy doesn't take knockback, they'll be hitting them for a ton of damage. This matters if the boss's speed isn't faster than the effigy. So for example, Greg, he's actually really fast. He doesn't continually get attacked by the effigies, so you do lose out on a fair bit of DPS against Greg, but effigies are otherwise really good. Bending Root, Uproot will slow down enemies, Invigorating Wave, or will temporarily increase your summon's attack speed. Super good. So a plus 50% attack speed, that's pretty much DPS bonus. Lasts 3 seconds, but I don't know if there's a cooldown for that. And players hit will gain plus 3 mana, so this is really good for your party, and it's good for you. It can act as a bit of sustain. And then triple totem. So we have 3 totems, gives us some more ability to spam totems without losing too much damage at a time. It also ups the amount of total regeneration you're getting from your totems for your party and for yourself. Shepherd's pretty good for if you're grinding, but you need to remove some stuff from the tree. The easiest options to remove would be more puppets and the cheaper aura cost. And that's the tree. The gameplay is obviously pretty simple. There's really nothing much to it. You're gonna spam your totems at the enemy. You're going to cast Uproot, you're going to make sure that your 2 effigies are always up, and you're going to continue spamming aura as much as possible, and you want your totems to be as close as possible so that every aura cast is actually hitting them before it gets cancelled. Aura casts will reset the last one that's cast, so like obviously this is a full aura cast. Now if I was going to cast really fast, I'm cancelling it, but since Panic Zealot has its major ID that makes stuff faster, and Shocking Aura, your aura travels fast enough for this not to be too much of a concern. Especially since you won't be spamming that fast to begin with. So you'll be able to hit most of your auras on a boss, even if they're moving around. As long as you try to keep your totems as close as possible to the boss. Looking straight this way is how you get the furthest distance. The more you look down, the closer it will land to you. And you can just figure that out. Getting the totem smash damage is a nice little bonus, but it's not required. The only other thing that's really important is that you make sure you use Uproot. Like, I'm just gonna say this again. Uproot will make summons do more damage, and then casting Aura will make your summons attack faster. Here's the build that I'm using. We're using Kumu. Again, Kumu is just so goddamn good. I love this item. I want to buy a perfect one. If you happen to have a blue overall, I will buy it. 32 LE, message me. Wanderlust, you got some walk speed. You get water and air damage. Air damage is good for Panic Zealot. And then the raw spell is really nice for Shaman's Aura. Sagittarius, again, the raw spell is what I want. Walk speed is what I want. Air damage is what I want. Skid Lednir is the corrupted Galean Graveyard boot that you can get. It costs 4 runs. Gives you some raw spell. Again, raw health regen, air damage, walk speed, and sprint regen. Perfect item. Double ingress this time. Plus 10 SP, raw spell, air, and earth damage. Earth gets multiplied in the summoner tree, so ingress is just a perfect ring for summoner. Vortex Bracer, you get some raw spell, air damage, and walk speed, and some HP. Contrast, just the perfect piece for any easy to make build. I showed that first clip with me beating Kira with Durham's Serenity. There's definitely options that are better than Durham's Serenity that aren't contrast. If you don't already have contrast, there are other options that you could totally use, like the Royal Stormy Amulet. You could probably use that. And then you have Panic Zealot. The IDs that you want for Panic Zealot is you want to get 100% on the health ID. The attack speed doesn't matter unless you're trying to make a cancel stack build, and then the walk speed, totem cost, aura cost, those are the important ones. Hull matters if you care about that, but it's not too important. Even at a low roll like mine, it's still half off. I'm not using hull too much anyway because I have a ton of walk speed in this build, so it works out. These are pretty much the IDs that you want. Above 100% on totem and aura, and you can spam the hell out of those. And that's the build. I'm glad I got to make another Panic Zealot build. Summoner's definitely the easiest option out of the shaman archetypes. It is really good. It lets you play at a distance, you have good healing, your health doesn't get siphoned, it does moderate damage, it actually does some really easy damage, so even if it is moderate damage, it does it pretty damn easily, so it's like, it's not an issue at all. Like with Acolyte, you have to make sure you balance your health, and you gotta make sure you're staying within your tomes. There's none of that for Summoner. Summoners just go at it, and then it works out. And that's the video. Thanks for watching.